The title for the greatest shooter of all time is unanimously agreed upon. I don't even need to say his name, you know who it is. And that's a rare case. There's no definitive answer to the greatest player of all time. Is it LeBron or Jordan? Is the greatest passer of all time Magic or Stockton? The same goes for other titles like the greatest rebounder, defender, scorer, leader, and ball handler. Many players fight for those titles, but when it comes to the greatest shooter of all time, the debate doesn't even exist because of Stephen Curry. Steph is one of the few, if not the only player to receive an undisputed title, and I have a stat that will only cement that. These are the top 100 players with the most threes made in NBA history relative to their three-point percentage. So keep in mind, the left is where players stink it up, the right is where they light it up, the higher the better, and the lower the worse. There's everybody's favorite sharpshooter in Mike Bibby, said no one ever. Two-time well-deserved MVP Steve Nash was as accurate a sniper as they come, and although Kobe made over 1,800 threes, he was the least accurate among the top 50. But podcaster turned coach JJ Redick was a flat-out flamethrower, and of course, old-ass LeBron is in the top 10. At the top we got Reggie Miller in 5th, Lillard in 4th, Harden in 3rd, and Ray Allen with the second most threes made in league history, shooting a crisp 40%. But like I said, the undisputed greatest shooter of all time is in his own universe. Steph Curry stands out as a rock star among superstars in one of many stats that you have to see to believe.
Yeah, I see. Ball's not moving for them.
They've almost degraded into it.
He shot it from the Coliseum bar section.
When you watch a Warriors game, you're basically guaranteed to see a Steph Curry three-pointer. Unless you saw him play on December 17th, 2023. In a game against the dumpster fire that is the Portland Trail Blazers, the chef went 0 for 8 from deep. Nothing to write home about, all great shooters have an off night. However, in this case, it was the end of the streak. Up until this night against the Blazers, Steph had made at least one three-pointer in 268 consecutive games, obliterating his previous streak of 157. This dude made 1 3 in every game he played in for 5 years. It's absurd. To put this into context, the last time Steph failed to make a 3 in a game prior to his 0 for 8 night against Portland was November 8th, 2018. Kawhi Leonard was with the Toronto Raptors, Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki were still hooping, and the NBA's next generational talent was taking the NBA by storm, drawing comparisons to Magic Johnson. Man, what a time to be alive. Curry's 268 game streak with at least one three-pointer is a record that nobody has sniffed, not even himself, and it may just be one of his many unbreakable records.
Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
Steph is light years ahead of any shooter we've ever seen. Ray Allen, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Reggie Miller, and Klay Thompson are some of the greatest snipers ever, but even they can't sniff Curry. On his career, Steph shoots a blistering 42.6% from downtown, and his splash bro Klay Thompson is one of the most efficient marksmen we've ever seen at 41.3%. Now, get this. If Steph were to miss his next 237 threes in a row, he'd still shoot a higher percentage than Klay. It's insane. But wait, there's more. If Curry were to suddenly go blind and miss his next 549 three-point attempts, he'd still shoot a higher percentage than Ray Allen did on his career, the second all-time leader in three-pointers. The chef could miss 657 consecutive threes and still be above Reggie Miller's percentage. And to snoop down to his quote-unquote biggest stylistic rival in Lillard, Curry could miss his next 1,283 triples, essentially a season and a half worth of shots, and he'd still have a better percentage than Dame. This is getting out of control. In fact, if Draymond were to punch Curry in both of his eyes for whatever reason, and Steph lost his vision, he could miss up to 1,476 consecutive threes and still have a higher 3-point percentage than James Harden, the third all-time leader in threes. Keep in mind that he hasn't only taken the most shots from behind the arc, but also the toughest ones. Fadeaway threes, sidestep and step back 30-footers with a hand in his face, 35-foot pull-up jumpers, half-court heaves at the end of quarters, and off-the-dribble heat checks that no one has any business taking. And yet his efficiency is still off the charts. The man is flat out better than everyone.
Yeah, look who's there for the rebound. That's Payton. Curry again, almost the same spot. Oh, rattles one home. 4 for 4.
While we're on the topic of Steph's insane efficiency, it would be a disservice not to bring up this stat. On his career, Curry shoots 47% from the field, 42% from 3, and 91% at the line. Combine all of that, and you get the 6th most efficient player of all time in regard to true shooting percentage. And by looking at the 10 most efficient players in NBA history, you'll quickly see the trend. There isn't a single guard on this list outside of Curry. In fact, other than Steph, there isn't a single player shorter than 6'8". Wardell is a complete anomaly. He's out there shooting shots on the perimeter while these bigs are just throwing down dunks at the rim, where it's clearly easier to be more efficient. To paint the picture, here are those same players at their average shot distances on the court. Of course, in the paint, you'll find Gobert, DeAndre Jordan, Tyson Chandler, and Clint Capella, doing their damage right at the cup. Jokic finds himself here with the 3rd greatest true shooting mark and an average shot distance of 10.1 feet, an outlier among the most efficient bigs. In the 10-foot range, Jokic is joined by John Collins and Karl Anthony Towns, representing this era of stretch bigs. But the true anomaly finds himself further away, once again in his own universe. Steph is the 6th most efficient player in NBA history while taking shots 16 feet further and at a degree of difficulty that is incomparable to a big man that throws down lobs and dunks 2 feet from the basket. Curry is an efficiency god.
The 2-on-1 back the other way. Curry, why not? For 3. Bingo! Gotta go quick. Curry off the screen, got enough room. Again, butter. Steph Curry.
It's February 7th, 2013, and a young Steph Curry is about to put on a show at the Garden. The baby-faced assassin erupted for 54 points and lasered in 11 triples, marking his first career game with 10 threes made, and there'd be plenty more to come. Steph's career would seemingly explode after that moment, winning MVPs, championships, and changing the game of basketball as we know it, and hitting 10+ threes in a game would become a common occurrence for Steph.
This guy's he knows where he is.
As Curry hit another 3 for the record. Yeah! No man has made 13 threes in a game until tonight.
Over the course of his career, he's had 25 games with 10 or more triples. If you saw the gap from Steph to everyone else, it wouldn't even look real. So here's a graph from every single player that has had a game with 10 threes. Harden and Levine have a few, Dame has put up a handful, Clay is sitting at 9 such games, and then there's Curry, a sight that we're used to seeing. The dude is in his own universe. But look at this. That mark right there is from Steph Curry in his 2021 season. And only his 2021 season. The man went ballistic that year. He averaged 32 a game on absurd efficiency and posted 7 games with at least 10 three-pointers. If that were the only season Curry ever played, it would rank him 3rd all time in games with 10+ threes. It's outrageous. And it gets better. During this 2021 season, Steph had a 1-week stretch where he poured in 10+ threes in 4 of 5 games. 10 on Denver, 11 on OKC, 11 in Boston, and 10 against the Sixers. If we took just this 1 week from Steph Curry's career, he would rank 4th all time. A stat that is so mind-numbing that you have to see to believe. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing. I'm making videos every week and I'd really appreciate the support. And Steph is the GOAT. See ya.